We're live. We're live. Hi, everybody. Hello. Top of the morning to you.
Hi.
Are you putting out that? That looked funny.
What?
You said hi, and then you just looked directly at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to pull up any pictures? From the honeydew?
Oh, yeah, anyone.
I'm going to try. We should have music playing that we can afford.
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
All right. Hello, everybody. You ready to get this thing started?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Black Multiverse Theory Podcast. We are here. It's still summer, and this summer has been really nice. I'm not gonna lie. For the people who don't like heat, I don't know what to tell you, but this summer has definitely come through. It's like, well, if you have to stay here, I feel like.
No. It's been okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it hasn't been that much rain or whatever. Like, it's been nice, hot, sunny days every day.
No, that's not actually how it's been at all. It's been the first 3 weeks of summer was pure torrential rain.
Yes,
I
that's
was in the mud all of those 3 weeks.
Yes, that is.
The last 3 weeks, which is what we're coming around to, like the fourth week, have been sunny, rain. Sunny, rain.
Yeah, that's summer.
But the beginning's summer too.
I know, but the thing is that we had a bunch of time in May that was really nice. Before that 3 week stint, you're not even counting all the nice weather that happened before that.
There was none. There was snow.
No, man.
It was snow and cold.
Yeah, if you say so, I guess we just.
I don't know what day you're talking about. It was freezing cold.
We have different perceptions.
Because my birthday was like the warmest day.
It was mad warm
and
at the end
rained.
of May.
And then it rained.
And it was warm for a good part of June too.
No,
and it got a little rainy.
First week of June, second week of June, then it came in. So much so that I did the Jana building, got stuck in the mud, had to push 5 feet.
Yeah, that was after June, the mid-June. We started with Jana mid-June. Yeah, so the beginning
so June
of June.
7th, June 12th.
You were with Jana June 7th?
Yeah, June 2nd, June 7th, June 12th.
Okay, if you say so.
I mean,
we have perceived summer very differently.
Yeah, well, you made a statement, and in that statement, I'm like,
I know. Summer's been pretty nice to me. It's been
I think you're just enjoying the good parts of summer, which is fine, because there's really good parts every year in summer.
But it has to rain.
Every year, it's like
last year was really terrible.
When?
Last year was a rainy whole summer.
My birthday was amazing.
Yeah, last year May came through strong, June came through strong, and then July and August were like not chill. In August it was like 2 degrees Celsius. Kerry West weekend last year.
Kerry West weekend. It rained in the night
and it was cold.
And sunny in the day. But every August,
it was cold.
Every August it's like this at the end of August.
At the end, but Kerry West is at the beginning of August.
You sure?
Yeah, it's the second weekend. It's like the second weekend of August. And it's really like
Carrie West
the first weekend.
Carrie West is always known for torrential rains, but
really?
then
I don't. Okay.
Because the year before that they said it rained.
They had that year was a rain out year, but
rain out.
The year before was sunny. The year before was sunny. The year before was sunny.
But even the Carrie West, parade was amazing because you guys were marching in the parade. It was hot, like fire.
Yeah, but it got cold that day. It got cool that day.
Okay,
it was okay.
It was great. Like people were playing basketball till all hours of the night. It rained every night.
We just remember different summers. I remember last summer being very rainy, and I've experienced this summer as being very sunshiny. So we're having different experiences in these summers that we're living through. It seems.
Okay. Yeah, in every aspect of every event, you hold on to the stuff you like and the stuff you don't like, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Any catch-ups? What's going on with you?
Not really. This week was pretty good. Pretty good week. It wasn't too bad. Going through the regular problems that you have when you are dealing with society and credit and getting things going. A lot of people are doing Zoom church now on Sundays. So I've been going to Bethel Stony Plain, out in Stony Plain, which is great. But it's been an interesting move as everything moves and we try to figure out, are we going to wear masks? And we have a lot coming up, even on the scroll versus school versus. There's a lot happening coming up pretty soon with the scroll. But as far as this week, it's been just church and then kind of hanging out. And then yesterday was kind of the highlight of the week, I think, so far. Well, it's only Tuesday.
It is only Tuesday.
But yeah.
And we have a whole episode to get to. This might be the best episode you've ever had in your life.
What?
I said
there are some serious things that you are going through.
I don't know. You say
this
so.
This is the best episode.
It might be.
Summer. This is the best summer ever. I'm like, I don't know about that.
That's what optimism sounds like too.
It sure does.
The first time I ever went to a beach was this summer. I've never been to an Alberta beach before in my life. I actually hung out with my friends 2 days on the beach this summer. Which is also a thing that I don't really even get to do. Like, been working a lot. And the summer's been generally good to me. The sun looks good on my skin. I remember more hot days this year than last year. So, I've been enjoying it. I didn't know. I should wait until you get here to say this. But Albert, I'm learning all the tricks and trades of Alberta living. So what I learned was that you go to the lakes in the early summer and then you go to the rivers mid and late summer. Because all the lakes pretty much like bloom with algae by now. So they say that by August, everybody goes to then the rivers instead of staying at the lakes. That's a hack. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't have a clue about that. I know about beaches because.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm good now. I know about beaches because I went to my first beach probably about 14 years maybe ago. When we went to Sylvan Lake. Sylvan Lake was a huge hotspot, had a water slide there. You're on your way, I think it's to Red Deer. Yeah, on your way to Red Deer, you reach Sylvan Lake, and awesome beach. And went there, and I was like, wow, there's sand on the beach. Wow, there's sand. There's actual sand
At Sylvan Lake.
at Sylvan Lake, and it was
Yeah.
great. They have jet skiing and people like going around. I was like, wow. So yeah, I totally realized that a lot of these lake lots that people have in the communities, they definitely take care of their beaches and take care of the lake and take care of that stuff, so that in summertime they can get more of that tourist move coming up. But this year, yeah, I also did go to Pigeon Lake.
Is there a food truck out there at Pigeon Lake where you at?
No, not at all. There's no food truck out there. It was more like a private barbecue area.
Okay.
Maybe.
I didn't go to that. I've never been to that side of Pigeon Lake. The only side I went to was the Mamio side 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
I think the Mamio side is like the hood side.
My kids love Pigeon Lake. Nashan, he just went into the water and wouldn't come out. He just swim in the water and just swimming.
It's the first time I've had an appreciation for Alberta, as I just remember being so miserable in Air Cadets. Like just hot and cold and tired, and so the outdoor.
Didn't sound like you wanted to be there. Was that your choice to join Air Cadets?
I think I did it. It feels like maybe I did it for my dad. I don't remember why I even joined. I don't remember what even got me there, honestly. And I joined early. Like I was 11, and you're supposed to be 12. But they let me come and do all the stuff until I turned 12, and then I was allowed to officially join. But, little known fact about me, if anybody brings this up, I'll deny it, even though I'm saying it on air. But I wet the bed for a long time. So for the first year, from 12 to 13, I didn't go on any cadet trips because I was like concerned about being in the woods and being myself. And then Wabaman was the first one that I went to. There's apparently cabins out there. And they put us in the cabin, and that shit was uncomfortable and cold all day. And what I realize now as an adult is that, and actually talking to some of my friends from cadets that are still my friends now, actually just Dennis. This is one person, Dennis. What's up, Dennis? But Dennis was like, yeah. I was like, oh, you guys have like equipment for this. Like these kids like cadets seems cheap and free and whatever, and my parents were like, yeah, it's cheap and free, but the place that you spend the money is like a Mark's Work warehouse. Or even like I think
your kids comfortable so they don't die,
so they don't freeze and frostbite.
My buddy Tim was in Air Cadets for a long time.
Yeah, we did talk about that, Tim and I.
Yeah, Tim. Every year, I remember Tim coming back with hypothermia. Almost every year, he's like, "I had hypothermia."
Our parents don't understand how serious it is out there.
Very cold.
They're like, put more layers on.
Yeah.
You're like, no, you need technology for this.
There's other things. There's things you have to do.
The other thing is that you're like, you walk and run far and a lot. So having tons and tons of clothes on is not
the thing.
It's not the vibe. Like layer. I'm like, yeah, but layer means like 3, not like 6 or 7. You know what I mean? Yeah, but yeah. So what were we talking about yesterday?
Yeah, I think that's a funny thing, going from the beaches and stuff like that. A lot of times, there's a lot of people out here that say, Edmonton is Deadmonton. There's all types of stuff. Edmund-Chuck. A lot of people have you get here and
Edmund-Chuck?
Yeah, it's a thing. You'll look it up later.
Yes. What's that a play on?
I don't know. Okay. And then so these things that where people situate us is people look at me being an Edmontonian. That the place is ugly and it's not great. But I remember as a child, And this week yesterday I had the opportunity to go hot air ballooning for the first time, and had the most amazing time. It was nerve wracking, and there was a little bit of anxiety going in. I remember as a child being about 5 or 6, and always looking up, balloon, balloon. And then one day, I was supposed to go by the balloon, and they were taking off. I think at Laurier Park, or by the Valley Zoo, there, which is now called Buena Vista Dog Park.
Right over there on the left, yeah.
So all these balloons were there, and they're launching. And I remember, I think it was my mom or my dad or my brothers. One of them had picked me up to like put me in the balloon. The guy was like, "Yeah, you want to come?" And I screamed my face off because you're a kid. You're like, "Oh no, I don't want to get taken away."
Absolutely not.
By the balloon and never come back.
Up into the sky, like
up in the sky. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
And so going back there's a little bit of trauma, trying to deal with it. Like, oh, I don't know. And is it going to be scary? Am I going to get scared being up in the balloon? Is it going to be windy up there? So I wore my aviator jacket and jumped in there, and honestly, it was the greatest experience this year for me.
What would you liken it to? Like, what would you say it's like? I literally have to go on another hot air balloon ride so that I can actually experience it, because this time I was like all about documenting.
I think to me it was like there are certain things in life that, what I'm realizing now, there's certain things in life that when you go through it, then you realize, oh, okay, that's what it's like in real life. So when skydiving a couple years ago, it was completely different than what I saw on TV. Because on TV, you don't get that wind blowing in your face. You're not falling perpetually forever, like never-ending fall. I've always felt, oh, well, falling's not that bad. I can fall for a while, but falling and falling and falling and falling and falling, and that roller coaster feeling in your chest, never going away, and you're just falling. It gets nerve-wracking. Especially quite a bit. So that was an issue.
I want to go skydiving now.
You should. And then that was an issue for me. After I had a lot of PTSD, kind of with the jumping out of the plane, and the plane's like going at how many kilometers per hour, and you're in there and you have to jump out. That was different. Now, likening that to a hot air balloon is literally like floating away in a bubble. Like,
it's exactly what it looks like.
It's exactly what it looks like.
Whatever you're imagining it is, no. Whatever it looks exactly like is exactly what it's like.
There's like, and we picked, and the pilot picked a good day where it was not windy
at all,
not raining.
It was a lot less wind than I expected.
There's like no wind. It just went up. And we just floated. And the scariest part was when he pulled the fire, and the fire like and it heats it in the back of your neck. That was the scariest part at first. That scare lasted.
I had Rob McLeod PTSD immediately.
Like 5 minutes. It was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But it was great. I mean, floating above the city, floating, like literally floating. High rises.
Okay, so today, as I was getting into the vehicle, there was like a dandelion, like, those fluffy seeds just floating along. And I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, man, I get it. Like, just floating. I would like my life to, like,
float.
To just be like that.
That's how it is, like, how life should be.
Yeah.
Just float.
It was
great. It literally is great, and it gave me another aspect of the city. The city of Edmonton is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. There's so much greenery, and even
there's so much greenery actually.
So much, and it's all different shapes and sizes. Some look soft, and some look like cauliflower or broccoli. I mean, and some look like, look spiky like pine trees, and you're just looking through greenery and brush, and then it comes up, and we have so many golf courses too. There's quite a few golf courses,
and it's not actually also not as high as you think it is. Like, you're just a couple hundred feet, so you're like, it's so bizarre. You're like literally, it's high, but it's like
we went high because we had to get up over that skyscraper.
Oh yeah. There is that time that we went up there, but remember, we were climbing up a hill as well.
Yeah.
So we literally had to get another couple hundred feet up with this guy above the hill. It was great. It was really, it was something.
Plane. I think every plane I've gone on, even when I jumped out of the plane, you have to deal with that moving up into different pressures, and then your ears popping.
My ears popped at one point.
Mine barely popped. It was just like,
Well, we cleared that skyscrapers and my ears popped. Yeah. But it was, I didn't think that I wanted to particularly go hot air ballooning. Like, it was interesting, but it wasn't like, this is a thing I've always wanted to do. And I was like, yeah, sure. But probably like in a Teddy Ruxpin kind of a way. You know what I mean? Like, when I saw Teddy Ruxpin, I was like, okay, now I realize Teddy Ruxpin couldn't have steered nothing on that thing. I have to go back and look at that contraption. But
Teddy Ruxpin's contraption?
Mm-hmm.
He had a whole propeller.
He had rudders too, right?
Yeah, he had the whole thing.
You're right. So when we go up there, some of the frequently asked questions that people asked was, how do they steer it? And the answer is they do not. We learned that in the safety briefing. He can rotate it, the balloon, but he can't like steer it through the air.
Yeah, and I realized that there are some flaps that come down, up and down, especially when the balloon went up. When I looked back at the picture, the balloon goes up like this, and then there's a flap that comes down, and it works like a sail. So once that tells you which direction the wind's going to actually take it. And he has this sail, and then he just kind of spins the sail where he wants, and then it just goes. And it rotates the balloon up. It's fantastic. It is a really good experience. It wasn't. There was like 9 people in this basket.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not 2 people. It's a very
it's
group
not like
of
a
people.
romantic getaway where you're there.
Was it 9 or was it 12?
There were 9 of us.
And then him. So it was 10 people in this basket.
So normally, there's a basket. There are 1, 2, 3. There are 4 sections. 3 people in each section normally. Yeah. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. Yeah.
And then he's right there.
And he was right there. So.
And it is a basket, and the floor is like. It doesn't sound sturdy, but it's kind of sturdy.
It's very sturdy. Like when you lift, we were hovering above.
It's the most bizarre feeling.
And I didn't know we were hovering above the grass until they let go the final thing, and I looked over, and we were already off the ground by like a foot. And then we started to just float and just
float away.
And it was literally slow. It wasn't like you would. And then you went up? No.
There's no feelings whatsoever.
Yeah, it's just
no G's whatsoever.
It's like, wow. So when I see people hot air ballooning, and I'm like, oh, okay. Because they talked about it, the pilot talked about there's a guy in Red Deer who you hot air balloon all the way up to the spot and then jump out of the balloon.
Oh, no.
You can jump out with your parachute. And it just goes.
I'm good.
I
also learned that it only costs about, like, all in, we could get in at $100,000, including the van, the trailer, the whole hot air balloon.
We thought about starting our own hot air balloon business.
As much as doing anything with Nilo, like 10 minutes into it, I'm like, 2, 4, 6, 8, divided by average sunny days in the summer. What's the average amount of sunny days in the summer?
Yeah,
times.
it was really
2
cool.
flights a day. If we do sun up, sun down flight. And literally, I'm like, we could do, I was going to say mile high flights, which is also a possibility for more money. And you could also do whatchamacallit flights, like 420 flights.
Mm-hmm.
You could do, I don't know what the rules are on that stuff actually, but.
All you have to do is just clear it with
the people?
What? Edmonton Airport International.
No, yeah, but the thing about balloons is, okay, so here's the thing about the sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the sky, there's like an order of importance, mm-hmm. right? And it goes BGAA. So it's balloons, gliders, airships, and then airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
So that is who gets precedence at any time in any airspace. So yeah, you're right. But with the balloon, he just has to be like, I'm going here, and the wind is gonna take.
And that's exactly what he did.
He's like, I think it's gonna be north, and then we ended up at East Glen.
Yeah, but the funny thing about it is, because of COVID, there's no planes. There's like no planes.
That is true. There was no planes in the sky.
just us. Floating into the clouds. We all had to be very COVID friendly, COVID safe. Yeah, they were very adamant. The pilot even had where he was, because he's right next to you, but he had like these plastic screens he put up. We all had masks and had to wear a mask. We all had hand sanitizer in place. Mm-hmm. Plus, we had to do a COVID screening before you got on, and a waiver, and sign in, mm-hmm. so that when he lands, if he's missing somebody, he doesn't jump. So that's basically how it is.
And the landing is much harder than I'd expected.
Oh, that's the worst part of it all.
It's the landing.
And it's the difference.
Oh, the landing's really scary. The landing is really scary. You should tell people that. You didn't think it was scary?
No, I did find it scary.
It was really scary for me.
I think you found it scary because the whole time you were in cotton candy unicorn land with your camera, like, I'm in my camera land. I'm like, yay, we're landing.
The reason why it was scary is because you don't just land, you like bounce for a bit. And not only do you bounce for a bit, you might tip over.
The reason why it's not scary is because he tells you this on the ground before
we leave. He said we were going to bounce? He said we were going to bounce? Yes, I missed that part. Was I taking pictures?
Like 4 times.
I was taking pictures.
People are like, what? He's like, yeah. When you go to land, we're going to duck down into the cabin. When you duck down into the cabin, it's going to come out pretty fast. And I'm trying to tell you now so that I'm not telling you, okay, we're going to land in about 3 seconds. And he said it exactly like that.
Yes, but I didn't know we were going to bounce.
And he said, and it goes, and we bounce over. He told us about the story. You weren't listening, but he told us a story about a person who bounced, dropped their laptop, and then the thing bounced over, not their laptop, their tablet, bounced over their tablet. So almost got their tablet crushed.
But barely.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay.
But, so I was not prepared for the bouncing. So FYI, it bounces in the end.
Yeah, and it bounces hard.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it comes down.
Bang! Bang!
I don't know if it's just the way how he had it or whatever. Because we came and almost hit the top of the school and then just missed the light post. He goes, I'm just hoping we don't hit this light post. And he rotated at the last second. We just
I was taking video at that point.
Just slipped past
Check
the light
Black
post.
Multiverse Theory for that video.
And then also, BAM!
It's the only video that has my finger in it.
I turned and I said, hey, look out! Boom! Hit the ground and boom.
It was the bouncing I was not prepared for.
It was great. I liked the whole thing. I liked the fact that we were able to do this. And go out there. So anybody who wants to go hot air balloon, we recommend it.
What I will say is that we were supposed to have gone way earlier in the season. This was supposed to be in the Melanistic magazine adventure issue. Mm-hmm. I have what I think would have been our alternate cover that I like, one of the pictures that I really liked that I took. But it didn't work out that way. So what I will say to you is, if you're planning on booking one of these things, and it's actually in the reviews as well. Be prepared to be rescheduled. But being scheduled on a day where it's like perfect, and he was like, "Oh, it might get a little windy. We're moving wind layers," and it was like that was it. Like, so it's definitely worth it to wait for a day that's not dangerous, especially given that with the hot air balloons, you're literally subject to the air, which is quite dangerous. And Edmonton has a lot of rivers and hills, actually. So be prepared to be rescheduled. If there's anything that looks like it's not going to be so good, if there's too much wind, which is like pretty much any wind, they're going to reschedule you.
100%. Yeah. Now, moving on
to the scroll. What you talking about?
So the scroll is on fire this week. We never have gotten so much stuff to talk about.
Scroll-worthy things?
I think it's because of COVID. Did we talk about Megan Thee Stallion last week?
Getting caught? Shot? Yes.
The funny thing is...
It's cake.
I'm like, why is this happening right now?
It's also cake.
Okay, all right. So anyways, we have... first and foremost, we have our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, being called out by the opposition and asked to resign.
Because of the finance minister stuff?
Because of the finance minister and the EU charity. For those of you who don't know, Trudeau's wife and mom are part of We Charity. And We Charity just won a major contract with the Canadian government. Mm-hmm. There was also a flight done by the finance minister.
$40,000.
About $40,000 where he went. However,
to Kenya and somewhere else. He said he paid it back.
However, he got paid back. Like he just was like, "Hey, can you loan me $40,000 right quick, and then I'll just hand it back to you." And he took care of the trip, and
he probably just, I guess, had that card on him at that time. He was like, "I'll pay it back." He did pay, and it was paid back.
He was paid back, but they asked him to resign, and he was like,
"It's like chill, relax. Y'all do mad other illegal stuff."
We've had
this is regular cronyism. Duh, we all do this.
This is interesting regular, to say the least.
It's regular cronyism, like this nepotism, cronyism, boys club thing. It's the thing that they call black and brown countries. They're like, "Oh, it's really corrupt over there. It's really super corrupt." But here, people get whole contracts without anybody even checking anything. And didn't, right here in Alberta, didn't Ariana Lagrange's has money or stocks in some company that's making all the masks for the schools now? 100%. And they rewarded them 100% of the money. So please.
Yeah. And it's on and on. There's
like y'all be chilling, y'all be hanging out, you'll be at lunch or whatever. And then you're like, yo, and people be hooking everybody up. I don't know why. That's why Trudeau was like, ugh, get off it. We all do it, buddy.
We have it even in the music section of our budget. They give certain music contracts out and grants to different people.
Same people.
And it's the same people over and over and over and over and over. And some of it's good, some of it's bad, and some of those places are using it for
same
good.
Programming over and over again. Yeah. Same people, same band, same venue, same programming.
So that was it for Justin Trudeau and that portion.
Mm-hmm. And his crony, his regular, everyday cronyism. What else?
And the next thing in the United States, we have Joe Biden picking a running mate.
Kamala.
Yes.
Is it Kamala, like Pamela? Because I be trying to Kamala it.
No, it's not Kamala.
It's Kamala, like Pamela. Like Pamela.
Or Kamala.
Mm-hmm. Kamala.
And she's...
So Kamala Harris?
She's the new running mate, and she's there. I saw somebody post a meme. Mm-hmm. It showed Bernie Sanders and his running, the person he wanted for a running mate. He goes, what we paid for it. And this is wish.com, what we got. And it was Biden and
it was probably Stacey Abrams or somebody good running with Bernie Sanders.
It was hilarious. Yeah. But, so they came in, mask on, and said their thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I did not listen to it, but I heard Michelle Obama's speech was popping. They said
Michelle Obama told us that
she
the
be out
current
here.
president is not the right one.
Yeah, she said it's okay, but he had a long time for us to figure it out. It's just not it.
There you go.
And we need to. He's not the right one for us. I was like, okay.
Michelle Obama came out and did a
Speaking
whole
to the
speech,
choir,
which I've
though.
never seen before. And
Yeah,
I like
the
the fact
first
they give her a
lady,
voice.
though, of the like. Okay.
Of the last first ladies coming in.
Sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Maybe, what's his name? Clinton.
Yeah, but Hillary's an IRL politician, but I guess maybe Michelle practically is too. In a way where she could just. Michelle Obama is a politician exactly the way I would want to be a politician, which is like not actually, but like just being able to say the things.
Also, for those of us, of not us, but those of the people supporting Trump, we see that Trump has done some major
rigging of the election preparation. So the Donald Trump administration, everybody, is actively gearing up to rig the crap out of this election. So what I'm watching, it is ultra bizarre to me, is on one side, the Democrats being like, we're gonna have a good debate, and we're gonna get them in the debates, and all this stuff, and then on the other side, it's like beep beep beep. Trump is literally hauling away mail trucks after dark, picking up mail drop boxes, so there's no drop boxes. Shutting down mail sorting machines. Now, mind you, because of the pandemic, of the voting is going to have to be online. This guy is actively being like, yeah, okay. The Democrats are like talking about how they're going to outdrive the Republicans, and the Republicans are like actively disassembling the car. Like, boops, 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 clipping brakes, slashing tires, loosening wheels.
Yeah, it's not good politics, that's for sure. It's definitely dirty.
It's fascism.
Dirty politics.
It's fascism. We studied this in social studies. This is like, I feel like this is a page out of the book.
But the greatest part of this whole thing is Trump ends up saying in the end that even if he's voted out, he ain't leaving.
He's not going anywhere.
I'm not leaving.
He said that, but that's the thing. Like, people are trying to apply the rule of law to this fascist person who already has boots on the ground, by the way. The man already has launched the military against civilians. So this should have been a big warning signal. I mean, we took this in social studies. This is the whole World War II section.
He's like,
which we learned every single year in a different way. So we've been learning about fascists for a long time. And the funny thing is that I'm expecting that all these. Okay, remember? Was it under Donald Trump? It wasn't that long ago. But remember when these guys went out there and occupied that ranch, and it was federal land, and they were like, "Oh well," and they just sat up there and they let them like they were totally armed militia, and they were set up with the people thing. And they didn't come in, they didn't firebomb them, they didn't do any of the weird stuff that they do to everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And then those are the people, like, you're holding these government lands of being like, oh, we reserve the right to have our guns in case the government is encroaching on us. Meanwhile, the government is encroaching. Like, where are y'all? Where's the NRA? Where are all these people who, over all of these years, okay, they meant like, the Democratic government? Like, what do you mean?
Well, those are the people who Trump has been in league with. Like the NRA.
That's his people.
That's his people. He went to them first and was like, hey, shake hands.
Let's do this.
We're good, right? We're good, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. So they're not going to be against him because he's the one keeping gun laws where they are.
So I wonder how much that the Democrats actually benefit from all of this stuff, because they really, to me, haven't done anything about it. And they're like, we impeached him, but it's okay. He can stay there.
Yeah,
it's mad weird.
The whole Senate was like, nah, we're good.
We're good. It's fine. It's fine. That's what they said.
And I looked at it back then, and I was like, okay, I get what they're doing because they're not taking him out of park. If you take him out of park, you can just run again.
Right.
When you're impeached, you're allowed to run again.
Right.
But they were like, okay, let's just let him have his time, and then we'll just vote him out. But now, my man's taking away the whole mail system.
The entire mail system.
How is this a thing?
In the middle of the night, like dragging it away. It's
weird.
Mad weird. It's super duper weird.
It is weird.
What else you got? I got mad opinions on everything you're bringing up. What else you got?
Yeah, you do have mad opinions.
I'm going to story these opinions always.
Yeah. So that is one thing. Hot air balloon went down.
What?
In Halifax right before we went in.
Wow, I'm glad you didn't tell me that. What happened?
Say a word.
I'm like, why is this thing so?
I did not say a word.
So
when
nervous.
We all went.
How was it?
Yeah, a lot of people got hurt. The whole family got hurt. They all went to the hospital.
Now that I know what that landing was like on purpose, I can't even imagine what a fucked up landing would be like. I have no idea.
Basically, it's because
you would be
hot air
thrown
balloon
from the basket,
and hot air balloon deals with wind. If at all,
the wind is like
there is no wind, you just go down, and that's what happened. The guy was floating along, and he was like, traveling at a regular pace, and all of a sudden the wind was like, and that was it. And they just came down. They said, "Brace for a landing," and they just went tumble, tumble, tumble.
I am glad because I know this now. I'm glad. If I found that out ahead of time,
it would have been like, nope, 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 nope.
I'm actually good. Because being that we said it bounces when you're landing, it could literally toss you out of the basket. Because it's not like you have seatbelts on or anything.
There's no seatbelts, there's no safety harness, no strapping.
Yeah.
So when you come down, they tell you to duck down and hold on to the ropes. But when I duck down, I mean like you're doing squats. So like you're doing a squat.
You're doing like a chair, wall sit.
And I wouldn't recommend that either. As soon as you hit the ground, my head came back, boom, hit the back, and I was like, whoa. But it wasn't. There's padding on the back, so it wasn't like
the hard kind though, like how a punching glove is padded.
It wasn't like whiplash or anything, but it was.
Could have been.
Yeah. Like, but if he didn't warn me ahead of time, and he was like duck down, basically we put all our weight in the center of the balloon. Mm-hmm. Is what he was making us do, and brace against the outsides of the balloon, so that when it came down, we didn't tip back over. We just bounced, and the balloon's like dragging along, so it drags and it comes down.
It is probably the unsafest form of aerial flight that I could think of.
And in a couple of weeks, I saw a balloon, working on the Jana building area there. I saw a balloon come down in the field right beside it. And I was like, whoa, that balloon's coming down fast. And it was like, shh, and he did a turn. I just went, blah, blah. I was like, wow. And they were talking while we were on the balloon. They're talking about another guy. There's a lady.
If you knew how I blocked out those people.
There's a lady down in another section close by where you were. And that lady was talking about.
Oh, the last time she landed on
the road.
At the Ellerslie. She said at the stoplight.
Ellerslie stoplight. You just
I'm like, I thought by the...
I was like, what? I was like, okay.
And then you had to back up the thing in the middle of the street?
Yeah, everybody had to get out and help back. What do you mean? Yeah, it was funny. We all had to get out. We all had to roll up the balloon, pack it into a big bag.
But we, being black people who paid for something, sat on the side as long as we possibly could.
Thinking that we were going to sit there to the last
possible moment.
And let all the other people...
Of course. We stayed until the last possible non-embarrassing moment, and we went ahead. And the other brown team came around the corner.
Another group there.
Came around the corner when there was like really nowhere.
When there was nowhere.
Wow.
They were like, He was like, I was on my phone. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Did you guys still
you needed help,
need
right?
me still?
I was like, this guy right here. This guy right here. That could have been me. Why did I think about hiding behind the man like he did?
Outdone once again. Are you done with the scroll?
I am done with the scroll.
One thing on recap that I didn't talk about that I want to say as we move into on the screen is that I went to go see Sterling Scott's comedy show. He has this comedy series at the Numo Alley now, and it was excellent. Everybody we knew was there, and none of y'all hit me up to see if I wanted to go. So I'm just letting you know that I did notice that. Anyway, so all of our friends were there. All of our friends were there. Uzi La was there. Uzi La had a show in Sherwood Park, which I did not remember, I don't think. But him and Arlo had a show in Sherwood Park. And then Uzi came out. Jay Mello was out there. What's up, Jay Mello?
Which we have to talk about because I just watched Jeff Hendricks and Arlo and Uzi perform outside with musicians.
That must have been the same night.
Yeah, but
in Sherwood Park.
But we have to talk about that as far as Afro Fest. As Afro.
Oh,
market.
Were they like singing with their mouths? Okay. I think we should just do
And
it.
Jeff Hendricks had a saxophone out.
Blowing air into it?
Yep. And I was like,
I don't think that they're really... Maybe we'll go back and look at that.
We'll have to look at the guidelines. Yeah. So, that's it.
Yeah, so Sterling Scott's thing was excellent. It is actually at Numo Alley every Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be a recurring thing. He had like 6 comics.
Was it a charge to get it?
No, it was free, just a vibe.
Right.
And it's the alley. The alley's licensed, so there was a lot of smoke going up in there. Everybody was happy. It was a good time.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay, what you watching?
Man, what am I watching? There are so many things that are on the list that I've watched so far.
I want to talk about Immigration Nation.
Go ahead. We talked about ICE and Immigration Nation as something you should watch. But you watched it. What happened?
It is the most heartbreaking thing ever. Like, it's literally watching fathers cry, bawl about their children, and these people saving, like, literally coming to America to save the lives of their children, and just all the trash that happens after.
It's damaging.
It is rough. And the funny thing is, not funny, haha, but funny thing is that the way they filmed it, people are really being honest. So it's like, yo, bro, are you effing kidding me right now, guy? Like, that's how you're watching it. And they're just, I
literally watched it and I was taken back by the fact that everybody's a hero in their own story. And you can see it here. Like, these guys are like, yo, you should be breaking the law, though.
Yeah.
The laws which you shouldn't be breaking. You know that when you come here illegally,
and they
you're
know
breaking the law.
They're like, this is a political thing.
Yeah.
So policy could change, and the policy change has to come down within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So they know that they are just an arm, a political arm.
Yeah. And they're like, you know,
nuts.
when these people, we're not here trying to take away. One lady was like, I'm not here, you know, taking away parents from their children.
I think
it's all over the news, but that's not what we do around here. And the next
clip. But I think that
in
is
the same day.
You know what happens? Here's the thing. It tends to be that artistic, creative people tend to be left-leaning, right? Which is why our boy Eddie Grant there, I wanna rock down to electric. Big Guyanese superstar Eddie Grant had to come out and tell the Trump administration stop using his song.
Wow.
He was like, I'm gonna need you to pull up and do that. Cease and desist.
Cease and desist.
Yeah. So being that art is typically left-leaning, it would be really tough. It's hard to find, like, direct. Well, maybe not.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing that I forgot on the scroll. Rihanna was over at Cadillac Ranch the other day and spray painted F Trump on the car, which everybody got an issue with from his side of the field. They're like, "You think you have art? You think you can sing? You can't sing." And
she's like, "I haven't released the album in 5 years, and I'm eating well."
I'm a good billionaire.
I'm eating well. Do you see this old white man? He is financing all of my dreams, and I am making money backhand,
literally
over fist.
She spray painted it on one of the cars because the cars are sticking in the sand, right? So she sprayed it on one of the cars. Didn't show her face. Didn't show it was her, but put it up on her thing. And they're like, "You think this is what's up? You think you're good? You think you can sing with your little thing?" And I don't even think she responded. She's probably there laughing.
She probably there drinking a coconut water out of the coconut. That's what she's doing while they're talking to her. She's like,
D.L. Hugley got also for the scroll got confronted in the airport by
some lady
from the Republican side who was black.
Oh, we know these people. Is she like a lady that like is in the news or what?
I think she's a lady in the news.
Is she Candace Owens?
Was it Candace? No, it wasn't Candace.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll look it up again.
Yeah.
But she confronted him about being there, and she went on her Twitter and was like, "Oh, I just saw D.L. Hugley, and I confronted him about what he said about Trump, and he folded like a punk." And D.L. was like, "Okay, first of all," and he highlighted this in her comments. He said, "First of all, she came up to me with no mask and no covering in COVID season in the middle of the airport."
He's like, "Get back."
And then he said, "Second, we started going back and forth. She said to me, do I think that all people are coon because they support President Trump?" And he said, "Yeah, I do think you're coon." And he goes, "Things got loud, and then my security had to come in and split everything apart." He goes, "The funny thing is, my security does for me what makeup does for you." And he stops that before things get ugly. So that's what he said. I think he goes, it stops things before things get ugly. That's what my security does. That's what makeup does for you.
Oh boy.
And so after that, it was hilarious. After that, he went about his way, and security took him away and separated the two, and maybe had their little fight on the gram there, or not. I think it was Twitter. I'm pretty sure it was Twitter. So I really take my hat off to D.L. Hugley. He's a funny guy and a funny character at that. So
also on the screen.
Back to the screen, because that was the scroll.
We'll call it ongoing, because D.L. Hugley is a guy that you would see on TV, I guess. The Power Project, Jamie Foxx's Netflix movie about this pill called Power, and when you take it, it brings out a superpower in you, but you don't know what pill you're taking. You don't know what power you're getting.
You don't know what
until after you take the pill.
And it starts to activate within seconds. But once you take it,
you only have 5 minutes.
You have 5 minutes.
And this guy, Jamie Foxx's daughter, gets kidnapped because they were testing it on her, and then when he had the baby, essentially she had special powers. So she, which I think is whack, she had the power of healing. One of the plot devices that I hate is the healing power superhero. I cannot stand it, because it's always like, we've found out everybody else's power. There's this one hero left, and in the very end, when we never see them use their power the whole last time, your hero dies, and then that person happens to be a healer every freaking time. That's the only part, the plot device that I'm like...
Yeah, it looked like when she used her power, it was reversing what the other power did.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. back to D.L. Hughley. It was Angela Stanton King.
I do not know who that lady is.
Yeah, she's the U.S. House candidate in Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
So she came out, and that was it.
So,
yeah.
What else are you watching?
I loved Power. I watched all of for anime, all the anime people. Seven Deadly Sins. I watched the last season of that, and I watched also Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Their
When do you watch TV?
Series finale.
Like, when do you watch this volume of TV? Do you sleep? Is this a nighttime thing?
I do sleep. But I watch my TV while I'm bending time itself.
So it must be so.
But I watched the final season of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was great because at the end, you know, black guy, he's in charge of everything. He's the end guy.
Did they bring anybody back? Any, like, somebody you haven't seen for a long time, or show you a power that you never get to see, or any of that stuff?
Yep. They did all of that this season.
Okay.
They showed you a power that you never got to see that was similar to the first power. They made a lot of nods to the very first season. They brought back. They talked about every character from every season within that. And this is the first one that kind of traveled through time as a travel through time kind of deal.
We're doing a lot of time travel right now in our movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm convinced that it's already happening. And that person is already severely messing with the timeline. If you can see this.
I also have been watching Doom Patrol.
This is a thing you've watched before in the past.
Yes.
And it's also a thing you've recommended.
Yeah, Doom Patrol is not bad. They're in their second season now.
Okay.
And so I watched a little bit of that, which is good. It does take place with, in the DC universe. And then I watched also Doom Patrol. Oh, Stargirl. Been watching that with the children. Catch an episode here, there, everywhere with the children. So
and now you're in it.
And then last but not least, for cartoons, for those of you who have children who like cartoons, Latino director and animator Guillermo, I believe it's Del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro. He's Mexican.
He's fantastic.
He's one of my favorites, actually.
He did Arcadia. The Troll Hunter was the first series he did, which is an awesome series. Then they did a spin-off show from that called Three Below, I think it's called, which is a spin-off. So it uses the same characters from that cartoon and does a whole season just with them.
Oh wow!
And then, so he did 2 seasons with the original character. Then he did a whole season with them, and they went into space and they did a bunch of stuff there. Then they did another spin-off just recently called Wizards, and that one went all the way back to 2 more characters that you saw in the first season and did a spin-off with them and brought back all the others into that and did a whole new storyline, which is great because there's so many characters in that whole thing and you don't see them after they leave. So after they leave and go home, you're only following one character. So he's like, okay, but this character was doing this, in this period. So it's great. It's really great. Children are on it and they're into it. And then the last season of The Monkey King has come out. And so I have watched about 4 or 5 episodes of that.
That's amazing. That is a lot of television. That's amazing.
Yeah, and okay. I found time to read my Bible at all.
Okay, man.
I love your face.
The wrong check-in.
You want to know why that's funny? It's funny because growing up, as kids going to church, people are like, you watch too much TV, you read your Bible, you do your Sunday school lesson yet? That's a familiar thing.
It's like knowing your maths. You're like, I know my maths.
You know your maths? My dad used to be about maths, my mom used to be about Sunday school lessons. So,
okay, I
did all of it.
I like it.
So that's that. So, what's in your ears?
She said as far as the hot air balloon, she goes, y'all sold this, and then immediately unsold it. Like, I think that was the bouncing.
Yeah.
What's in my ears? More 2020 soca. What is happening is that as I let Spotify know that I'm messing with soca, it's kind of fixing the algorithm and giving me small island stuff and giving me some older stuff as well. So it's been really cool to get back into it. I love soca so much. Like, I know that I have a physical reaction to that music. So it's been nice getting back to 2020 soca. I've been only in Trinidad for now, so I gotta get all my Lucian, Grenadian, Vincentian catch up on everything. So that's what I've been working on.
I like it. For me, there's been a couple of new songs that have been hitting. I haven't been on an album per se, but there's a couple of new songs. Kirk Franklin and Torrin Wells came up with a brand new hit, a new banger. That was pretty good. Oh, yeah, it's actually pretty good.
I rock with Kirk Franklin. So
he always does some really good stuff, and lately he hasn't been. He's just been promoting a lot of new artists. Like he's over here with Torrin Wells.
That's good. That's how you keep yourself. What's it call it? What's it?
Relevant.
Yeah, it's relevant.
I like it.
Relevant is the word. Paul McCartney's due out for a hit with somebody new and young any second. Maybe Kendrick Lamar or something. He'd be doing that every week. Is he alive still?
Paul? You just said he's still about to do it. And then asked if he's alive. That is the
Listen, in these here COVID times,
the scroll you have going on, but you scroll and scroll.
No, I'm saying that is just me feeling like Paul McCartney's about to do something because he does something with new artists that have nothing to do with him every few years, and people are like, "Who is this guy?" And then children discover the Beatles again. And he does every few years.
There's been many rumors about even Kanye West. And Kim Kardashian like separating and not living in the same house.
Oh yeah.
But this Sunday they had church this Sunday with the entire choir that he has going around, and they are all in Orange County jumpsuits.
Yeah, she's a weird one.
Who?
Kim.
That wasn't Kim. That was Kanye and the whole choir.
Was she in orange jumpsuit?
I didn't see her at all in the thing.
She was
but
like,
they
I'm
said,
not messing with this.
But I think she was there, like on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And he was there, and he had choir. He had church.
Trust me, every time we say Kanye's name, all the Kardashians get a little bit of money. All of them. Let's get a bank deposit.
That is hilarious.
You know what I hate about that whole situation? I have to say this. I came out strong on that one.
Hate it.
Yo, why are we pretending like Kanye West is legitimately running for president? Like, why are people actually saying that? Because we were standing with a bunch of people, and one person was like, no, you can't say that when you're running for president. I'm like, what? Kanye West is not running for president. You can't say you're running for president and it is so. Like, this is not the feudal era. This is not...
Actually, that's exactly how it works.
No, it's not. You have to go through a whole process.
But most people tell you they're running for president after they've got to that process.
But the thing is...
nobody's thinking this gajillionaire is going to be like, I'm running for president on a whim. They're like, is he really doing it?
No, he's not doing it. And then the other thing is that it's late. Like, the thing about having to go through the process is that there's dates and deadlines, there's primaries, so you can't be out here. You can't be out here at the end being like, yeah, I'm running. I'm like...
I think he wanted to run to see what would happen. People started to poll
to see. They
started a poll and they were like, hey, who wants to be there? And people were like, I'll sign up for that.
But I think that's... Like, I hate to be the one who's like, the media. but I feel like it's that sensationalizing.
Maybe. I mean, I remember when Trump was running, a guy signed up, and his first name was Dees, and his last name was Nuts, and a lot of people were like, "Yes, I'm voting.
This guy,
I'm voting for Dees Nuts." Literally, that's what he was. So I feel like people will do anything to clown around, and people will do anything. Like, I feel like this guy might be better than whoever we got in power. So who knows?
No.
Who knows?
No. All right. You have anything? You have a word? You have upcoming events? Obviously. Oh my God, you guys. August 29th is the Aphrodisiac Market.
The market.
We are now calling for volunteers. The volunteer call and the link is going out now. So if you wanted to volunteer, if you wanted to come, definitely come. Bring the vibes. We're having a volunteer meeting here at the shop on August 23rd, which is the day after my first and only child's 18th birthday, just for what you guys are aware.
And 4 days before my first and not only child's birthday. First of four.
Of 4 children. So, so we're going to have that meeting and talk about how we're going forward. I'm excited for the vendors. Vendor profiles are going up, and the vendors are going to be fire vendors. Fire.
If you guys want to buy fire, come to the house.
This is what we'll be selling that day.
So fire. Straight fire.
So we definitely figured out ways to get the flow in there in such a way where we can have a nice socially distant workflow. We're asking everybody to wear your masks, even though that it is an outdoor event. That helps just overall. We'll obviously have COVID testing, and also screening is what I should say. We'll have COVID screening on site. There will be
no COVID testing.
No testing. Sorry, retract. There will be 2 ATMs on site, so no worries. And many of the vendors also take good old tappity tip tap tap. So we will be out there. We will have live music. We're gonna have a good time.
We're gonna have a grand time.
That is 10 to 6. I've been mentally trying to manifest 25 degrees Celsius and sun.
Yes, keep doing that.
Yeah. If it's 25 degrees Celsius,
we're also gonna have Olympian.
3-time Olympian.
3-time Olympian Neville right there, taking pictures with them, with babies and children, grandmas and women and men.
The kissing of the babies is suspended.
No kissing of the babies, but he'll definitely be taking pictures.
Yeah.
Selfies.
And he'll have some stuff there to show you guys.
Yeah. So come and support that. We're also going to have from the Amazing Race.
Karen and Bert, the Dream Team.
The Dream Team.
My favorite team.
From Reicher.
IRL. Yeah. They will be there with their hot
celebrity
stuff.
guests. They're going to be great.
Hot stuff is what their tent is going to be called. Because they have ground pepper and earrings and bracelets. Like, okay, hot stuff. I get it. I like it. She's like, if you like it, I love it. I'm like, that's how it works, Darren.
And we'll have some music. So it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
Food, family, fun, and friends. That's what we're going to have. Yeah.
All the F's.
So come on out. We're going to have a great time.
I hope to see you there.
Get.
Do you have a word this week? I have a word.
Go for it. Hit it.
This week's word is about replacing yourself, because I am actively replacing it. It's like it was just me, and then the business kept growing, and I just kept multiplying myself. And now I'm like those Russian dolls, stacking myself back into myself, and taking what I do and bringing on people to do different aspects of that. So a lot of you guys who have integrated with the business before, who have helped me, have come out to things, What you're going to start to see happening is a lot of different faces associated with Aphrodisiac and the decorational brands kind of across the board. And a lot of things that we've been talking about over the next little while is going to come to fruition. But none of that could happen if I didn't replace myself. So one of the things that is, I guess, a little bit unfortunate is that we haven't had legacy training. We haven't had mentoring. So we don't think about our legacy. And our legacy are the people who are going to go on to do the work that we started. And in order for them to do that, we have to empower them. And we also have to set them up for success with the knowledge, with the information, with the support, and be able to drive whatever our dreams are forward and to be able to complete our visions. So in whatever it is that you're doing, as much as you might be like super stellar, the best at doing it, I kind of would like you guys to think this week about your legacy and legacy training and mentoring and preparing your future and doing the things necessary in order to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
You cannot. Back in the day, this is a quick story I'll tell you about George Lorimer. So one time I came back from New York, I believe it was 2004. Mm-hmm. My daughter was 2 years old. I was working for H&M. And at the time, I believe it was H&M or it may have actually been American Eagle. But anyway, I was in some retail job. And at the time, I was a manager. So I was getting a lot of messages on my phone. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, look at me. I can't even vacation. I'm so busy. We have this way of like having this signal where if you're like too busy to like live your life, then you're being successful. But my dad explained to me that if I was away from my store and couldn't be comfortably on vacation without being 1 foot in the business at a time, then what I had was a failing business. Because what I have is a set of managers that are incapable of running the business in my absence. So it really had me thinking. And then now in my own work that I do my best, especially now, to think about who is going to replace me and to empower those people to be able to, this shop is going to be running one day perfectly. People are going to be annoyed when I come because I make a mess all the time. And they're going to have no idea why. If I'm going to walk in here, people aren't even going to know who I am. They're like, why is she walking around here like she owns the place? So, yeah, legacy training, replacing yourself, and mentoring the next generation. So that is my words for this evening. Was that one word?
That is a word.
That's a word. So those are things that, you want to think about.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's all I got for everybody this evening.
I like it.
Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. We will see you again, as always, next week. And yeah, stay safe out there in these COVID streets.
Stay safe, people. Stay safe.
Peace out, y'all.